Ekitike, first bid rejected. Hi everybody, welcome to the Toon Review. This is your latest Newcastle United news with myself, Paul. Thank you so much again for tuning in. So Sky Germany are reporting that the first written offer for Ekitike is rejected by Frankfurt. Now, apparently, they are still not close on a deal, but what's more worrying for me is what Frankfurt have come out and said regarding other clubs interested who will be willing to pay more. Now, I've seen already some people suggesting online that they hope we're not being played here with regards to, getting the bids going and then getting other interested clubs coming in with higher offers, because we've seen that before. We've seen it many times before. However, I'm not so sure that's the case, because there is delegates in Frankfurt from Newcastle United. We've been told that there is possibly some delegates in Newcastle as well. Both areas working to get a deal done. Certain suggestions that medicals have been booked for when eventually they do hit the right valuation and the transfer can go through. What we're hearing is personal terms have been agreed, according to journalists, verbally anyway. Obviously, nothing written yet, but that is a very positive sign. And I think Newcastle United are really, really going in with this aggressively. Just let's not be too cautious here. The worry is that we keep bidding and rejected, bidding, rejected, and then the deal falls through. Somebody else swoops in and takes the player. It's quite obvious that Newcastle United want Ekitike. There's no doubt about that. Eddie Howe probably sees him as the perfect man to play alongside Isak and for rotation purposes in all the games that are going to happen next season. So for a Newcastle United fan, I'm sitting here extremely excited about this deal, still thinking that it's going to happen. Because I'm sitting here right now recording this thinking, you know what? It could change in a couple of hours' time. Newcastle could go in with a second bid and it may well be accepted and the deal starts to progress from there. That's the thing about football, and certainly with transfers, it can change in the absolute blink of an eye. We all know that. And I just hope that this is the case. Now, this has been reported by Sky Germany's reporter Florian Plettenberg, revealed that Frankfurt have turned down the £69 million club record offer from Newcastle United. Of course, that currently stands at 63 million for what we paid for Alexander Isak. Plettenberg claims that Frankfurt sporting director Markus Krösche wants more, and there are clubs who have indicated they will pay more. Frankfurt are understood to value Ekitike at £86 million. So that's not euros. I think it was about 100 euros that they quoted. Now, 69 to 80 million, whatever it may be, you know what? It's not that far away. So if you're looking at it as a fan, looking from the outside, and you're thinking, there's not much difference there. There really isn't. When it comes to football in terms and the money involved in football, yes, for us, it's massive amounts of money. But look, football is different, isn't it? And I think Newcastle United can come to an agreement. We've got to be careful on our side that we don't get overpriced for a player, and I'm sure Newcastle United hierarchy are well aware of that, and they don't want to go down that route again like a Mark Gahey situation last summer. But as it stands, they want 80 million, and it was rejected mainly due to the payment terms as well. So valuation, not really a problem. If they can just meet in the middle somewhere between the 69 and the 80 million, that's a possibility. But the payment terms, according to Plettenberg, weren't good enough for Frankfurt. So Newcastle would have to come back with A, another offer, and B, better payment terms for this deal to happen. Markus Krösche wants more, apparently. There are clubs who have already signalled they would be willing to pay more. So who are those clubs? Well, you would think that Liverpool are obviously interested in the player as well. I think their number one goal is Isak, of course, but Isak's not going anywhere. Newcastle United have made that strangely and angrily and forcefully, making sure that Liverpool understand that he is not for sale. No matter how many times you see these Liverpool fan channels or you see the Liverpool fans blurting on constantly about, oh, if they get a Ekitike in, Isak's coming to Liverpool. It's all a load of crap, but they continue to do it all the time, and it's becoming a little bit boring, I have to say, when Newcastle have stated their intention to keep him. Does Isak leave in the future? Probably. You know, we're not all stupid Newcastle United fans thinking he's going to spend the rest of his career here. But what the players want at Newcastle is the club to show ambition and the club to challenge to win things. Now, if we brought Ekitike in, we're already, what a forward line we've got. So we are going to compete to win things. So the elite players that we already have at the football club will be happy to stay. Isak, of course, if he got an offer from somewhere like Real Madrid or anywhere like that for that matter, he'd probably go. We know that. But at the moment, the way things are, he is staying. We're looking to get Ekitike in, and it's going to be a hell of a front line for Newcastle United. First bids normally get rejected. Let's be fair. Whenever football teams go in with an initial offer, they more than likely get rejected because the initial offers are never worth what the selling club values that player at. You see it day in and day out in football. You go in with a cheeky offer just to get an understanding of maybe where the selling club are and how much they want for that player. And Newcastle are probably doing that. But they have to get the payment terms right for our side of things as well. We can't just go and say, oh, we'll give you the money up front and all that. It doesn't work like that. There is going to be different payment methods, and it's very, very interesting to see if they go in with a second bid. The second bid could happen, as I record this, in a couple of hours' time. It could be tomorrow. But what they don't want to do is hang around a little bit, because obviously Frankfurt have made it quite clear that there's other clubs interested in it, in the player. Now, what we need to make sure of is that we don't get played. And I said that earlier on in the video. It's very important we don't get played. But I think that the fact that Newcastle United they've sent delegates to Frankfurt and things like that, where the deal is almost, I wouldn't say almost done, but it's very, very far down the line. And, you know, you'll get reporters saying that the deal is way off. It's not that way off. If you look at the actual valuation difference between what Frankfurt want and what Newcastle offered. And I'm sure they can come to a payment term arrangement. That's just tweaking a few little things. So I'm still very optimistic about this, guys. I don't know about you and how you feel at the minute, but I just expect the first bid to be rejected anyway. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, Christ, you know, we put a bid in for Ekitike and it's been rejected. That means the deal's not going to happen. Obviously, Frankfurt are going to say that there's other clubs willing to pay more, so Newcastle will come in with a higher bid. You know, the Frankfurt aren't stupid. They know that they've got an asset there that they can make a lot of money from. So I'm not particularly worried about the deal at the moment, but everything could change in the blink of an eye when it comes to transfers. Now, Anthony Elanga has been spotted in training, and a lot of journalists and media companies have said about his squad number and trying to work out what his squad number is. Now, look, whenever you see footballers in the training kit, sometimes they have numbers on which don't make any sense. You know, you look at certain players who you know have squad numbers, like Callum Wilson was number 13 when he first came to Newcastle United, but he would wear like 24 or 62 on his training kit. It didn't tell you that was his squad number. Now, Anthony Elanga has been pictured wearing number 25 in training. Now, all the talk has been about maybe Isak taking the number 9 now that Callum Wilson's gone and Elanga taking the 14. But he's been wearing 25 in training, so a lot of the journalists are now trying to work out if that is going to be his squad number for the season. Now, it's not big news to me because, you know, I don't really care what his squad number is, quite honestly. All I want to see from Anthony Elanga is quality on the pitch. You know, I don't care what number he wears, quite frankly. I really don't. And I don't think many Newcastle United fans would anyway. I mean, are we really bothered what certain players wear on the back, for a shirt number? It's how they perform on the pitch that counts. And we've got to make sure that, you know, we give Anthony Elanga the full backing no matter what number he wears. It's not going to be... I'm not going to hear his squad number and then be disappointed. I'm going to say, right, that's his squad number. Let's go. Let's see what he can do on the pitch. But as usual, the rumour mill is out there that he's going to wear the number 25 shirt. But I would hold, if you're going to get Elanga on the back of your shirt, guys, I'd hold off until Newcastle United actually make an official announcement on the squad numbers for the season. But there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments below about the Ekitike situation. Would you go in a little bit higher? Do you think it's still going to happen? Are you excited about the deal? Let me know in the comments below. And what number do you think Anthony Elanga is going to take next season for his squad number? Are you really bothered? Or do you just want him to do the business on the pitch, like myself? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. If you have enjoyed the show, please do give it the thumbs up. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is completely free. The only thing we ask for is that you hit that notification bell so you never miss any uploads such as this or any of our live shows in the future. Please keep voting for us in the Football Content Awards. That is pinned at the top of the description of the video. All the instructions are there, what category to put us in, and of course the all-important link to take you through to the voting form. But thank you very much for watching. We'll speak to you soon. Take care.